Good afternoon, folks. How is everyone? As always, I hope you're doing well, because you know you're my people and I love you. I want you to be the big three, my friends. I want you healthy, I want you happy, I want you safe, and you know what I want for me? That's right. Thumbs up, thumbs down, leave a comment, like, share, remind. Couldn't hurt, right? Or maybe you don't like somebody. You make them watch my stuff. Anyway, welcome to another Stout Sunday where we're going to cheat and do a porter because... well, basically, they're kissing cousins, so I think we can stretch out the rules just a tiny little bit. Besides, this one looks super interesting. This one is local to me. It's from Huss Brewing out of Tempe. This is their Imperial Chocolate Cherry Porter. And just to really throw it over the top, because you've seen me do bourbon barrels before, these are aged in bullitt-bourbon barrels, but they added the cherry, which, you know, I'm always on top of that. Sounds good, right? Sounds like we gotta. Alrighty, let's do the crack, let's do the pour, let's get a temp and an SRM, and then we'll go all Uncle Creepy on this, get the old Bidenomiter out and stick that sniffer in there. Man, that is a dark coffee head right on top of the can. So let's see what kind of magic we can do here. I don't know if you can pick that up. See the way she's kind of cascading at the bottom. That's what I like in nitros, because they do a really nice job of that. But that head is beautiful, and yes, that is a coffee colored head right there. That's half a cream, maybe 2 sugars. It's really, really nice, though. There's a nice variation in the bubbles, the effervescence, if you will. That's a nice looking head. I know a lot of you guys don't care what the head looks like, but we're not going to leave that joke in. We're not going to go there, although we could. Oof. Pretty beer. Look at that, just opening right up. All right, let's get that sniffer in there, see what's going on, then we'll get a temperature. Rich cherry on top of the bourbon. They said chocolate. I'm leaning towards more of a coffee espresso. But a lot of that could be the booze coming off the bourbon, too. But that cherry is right up there, right up in front. So everything on that nose is probably 33, 33, 33, right? Everything's just, they're all there together in about the same strength. So, no. Spilling the holy water. Oh, sin against God. It is my own fault because my table is a mess. But to be fair, it's a new table and I'm still working the kinks out. So, current ambient temperature in Phoenix is 69.9. Current ambient temperature of my beer is 48. Always keep that down in your pocket. They come in way too handy. Let's get an SRM on here. All right, low beam. Nada, not surprised. Bring her up to medium. Ooh, medium was starting to get some color. Let's go high. Yeah, we're definitely pulling color now. Nice, rich cherry. And turbo. Yeah, that's pretty beer. But yeah, we ain't cracking nothing through this. So, we got color in low, we got color in medium. dark, rich coffee colored head. Let's give her an 80. Call it an 80. There we go. I think that's fair. All right, so what time it is? Look at that lacing before we disturb it. That kind of reminds me of clouds, which goes well with the weather that's about to roll through here. Those are just nonsense. I don't know. Maybe that's like a leopard down there on the bottom with the spots. And I would guess then that it's being followed by cubs. Like I said, one day somebody's going to look at these and go, you should have put him away a little sooner. All right, let's do it. Let's slip of the tongue. Skull, my friends. And that head, it came down fast too, man. Hold on, I'll give you a quick shot. Steve's going to curse me because I toasted and then I didn't finish. Sorry, brother. Hope you and the wife are doing well with this weather bomb thing that's going on. Skull. Wow. Really nice. Boozy, but really nice. So there's a lot of bourbon in there. But the first thing that hits you is that cherry bourbon Manhattan kind of taste. Then she rolled into boozy. Not really pulling chocolate. I'm still sitting on cherry right now. Dirty, nice mouthfeel. Soft palate, front third of tongue. Intradentals, but nothing extra, nothing buccal, nothing sublingual. So she comes in, there's your chocolate right there. So she comes in, and you get that cherry followed right up behind it. I mean, with the bourbon, giving it that Manhattan-esque taste. The cocktail. As she burns through, the Manhattan aspect tapers down, the cherry presents a little more. Then we got the chocolate. And now we're just sitting on cherry. So, I have to blow my nose, which is running, as you've seen me rub it 3 times now. We're going to pause. We're going to bring her up to temp. Again, it's 70 degrees out here. It shouldn't take all that long. We started at 48. 8 and 6 is math. And I'm not real good at that, but I'm pretty sure that means we need to go to 54 and then 60. And because she's an 80 SRM, we'll see if we're going to bring her up past that. Although we might just save that for the short at the end. Another reason I wanted to pause. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Hang tough. Alrighty, my friends, we are back to let you know we can really knock them down. And you would have to be old or been subjected to people who listen to the oldies channel, like my granddaughters are. So I believe that music is multi-generational. I routinely listen to stuff from turn of the last century. 20s and 40s and 50s, because good music is good music. We're looking at 54, my friends. Let's get them esters popping. Anything on the glass? I don't know. You disjoint the jellyfish? That looks like one of those bottles they use in chemistry lab. I can't remember the name of it. Don't know. But we're going to find out. Let's get that nose in there, see what's going on. right, boozy and bourbony has moved in front of cherry now. So you're looking at 75-80% bourbon. It would be hard to pull cherry at this point. The only thing is I know it's there, and so kind of skews the results. But that doesn't mean we're not going to slip her the tongue. Looks like this, smells like this. You don't slip the tongue. Cad and a bounder you are. Cad and a bounder. You're not even a rapscallion. Cad and a bounder. Big bourbon presentation. Nice. Mouthfeel is just all soft palate going all the way into the back. It hits the back of the throat and goes right down. Smooth, silky, beautiful. Go away, bug. Don't land in my beer. Just letting the flavors work through to see what we get. Bourbon, and once the bourbon dies off, probably 3-4 seconds in, now we're getting cherry chocolate. Okay, so cherry and chocolate. I'll take it. That boozy front end, that heavy bourbon loading, is really not abusive. We've drank a lot of them that I would have just swore were basically bourbon. This one's really not. So far, she seems to be really, really well crafted, at least for my palate. Again, you drink how you want to drink. You drink what you want to drink, but do me a favor. And don't drink anything advertised on the side of a race car, as I tried to explain to Ed in the Blood Orange Belgian Wheat video that went up Thursday. Oh, my back hurts. Oh, I'm this. Oh, and I'm like, oh, what'd you drink this weekend? Oh, I was drinking Miller. And I'm like, oh, why are you drinking that shit? It's loaded with corn. Corn. It's just literally one of the most inflammatory things on the planet. The corn and the glyphosate are just horrible for you. You think so? Stunad. Yeah, we're going to let this pop. So 54. We're going to go up to 60. I'm really interested to see how that flavor shifts when she hits 60. I'm really hoping that we get a bigger blossom and much more intricacy. So we will be right back. You hang tough, my friends. See in the blink of an internet eye. Alrighty, my friends. We are back once again. We are nailing it today. We are looking at 60.2. 60.2. All right, well, let's see what 6.2 going to show us. Not much for lacing, same we had before. Swirl to release the esters so we can smell moats and smuts and hooker butts. I'm just making this shit up as I go along. You watch those wine guys and they're like, ooh. Uh-huh. Okay. You must be a super taster, whereas beer drinker with a barbarian's palate. 8.2%. It shows. Let's get that nose in there. Oh yeah. So cherry is now back in business. In the beer. Mind out of the gutter. Besides, 100% positive she retired. Although when she took the main stage, as she is, cherry, bourbon, no chocolate on the nose. Ain't gonna stop us. Salud. Woo! Oh yeah. Mouthfeel has shifted. She has gotten a lot faster, which makes sense. With the increase in temperature, you get the decrease in viscosity. I think that's how that works. The warmer it gets, the thinner it gets. Right into the back of the throat where you get hit boom, with that boozy bourbon note. But as she comes in, and again, this time we've had soft palate, but we had leakage up to the boogles. Initial cherry hit that burns right off, right into the bourbon, right down that stripe in the middle of the roof of your mouth to the back of the throat where you get a little burn on the tonsil and the uvula area. And she's not nearly as dirty now, which again makes sense. The viscosity is. She's gotten a lot thinner, I should say. Virtually no tongue involvement. Really, really tasty. I really like this. Now, I'm going to be Mr. Nitpicky, and you're going to say, well, if you've got so many ideas, why don't you brew them yourself? You know what? I really should. The only problem is, I don't know where I would get bourbon bullet barrels to do it from. But if I did have access to them, one thing I would add to this, vanilla. A little vanilla in this, right over the fucking edge. That would make this a 6 out of 5. Absolutely stunning, amazing beer. Because that's that flavor note that's missing. But, that being said, would I buy this again? Yes, I would. Would I drink this again? Would not bat an eye. Would I like to try this on tap? Oh, I've been tapping this hard. Ugh, squoozy. Is it good for the style? It's excellent for the style and well crafted, and they balanced everything really, really nicely, especially in that last note where, you know, we were in those 50s and it went to bourbon, and now we're in the 60s and it's gone back to cherry bourbon, and it is just beautiful. Chef's kiss, which is now apparently a thing like 6-7 that, okay. See, where I come from doing this, it's like doing this or doing this. These are no nicer things. just saying that, or you do this. Don't do it to your Italian friends. Do it to other people that don't know any better. Do it to your Italian friends. They're going to look at you and say, yeah. So 8.2 is the ABV. They did not give us an IBU on here. Let me double check and make sure I'm not blowing smoke up your chimney, but I do not believe they gave us an IBU. It doesn't matter. It's really well balanced, well crafted. The IBUs on this are 30, maybe? It's hard to find anything on here. Even Beer Advocate doesn't have it. So, all I got is the AI, and they're not giving me anything. Resulting in rich, complex profile with layers of dark chocolate, which I didn't really get, although, to be fair, there is a hint of bitterness in there. Ripe cherries, which we do get at least twice with the flavor profile, which is really nice. Roasted malts. Do you think that's where the dark chocolate came from? And I'm not pulling any kind of bready note here. Complemented by warm hints of vanilla and toasted oak. Well, I'm not getting those, but you throw a little vanilla in here. Don't overdo it. Don't make this a dessert beer, but just enough vanilla to make it pop. Absolutely amazing. Full body texture, slightly sweet finish. No, not really. Making it a bold yet balanced brew. If that is true. Yeah. So, this is a member of Huss Brewing's popular Papago and Huss family of craft beers. Huss is a really good brewery. We've done a bunch of their stuff before, and it's local to me because you should always drink local, my friends. So, well crafted, well balanced, really nice, interesting flavor profile. Really, really good job taking the bourbon barrels, throwing the cherries in there. Beautiful. Thank God somebody finally friggin' listened. This is why Manhattans are actually, if you wind up in a cocktail bar, order a Manhattan. They're really, really solid. Super good. People like old fashions, but yeah, Manhattans are better, especially if you're a bourbon drinker. I can't tell you which bourbon to use. You use whatever bourbon you like. They will ask you, by the way. Don't use well. Just spend money. Use a decent bourbon. Use Bullitt. What the hell? Yeah, so, I mean, she's 5 out of 5. We knew that coming into this, that there is nothing to knock points off from this for. Really excellent, super beautiful, delicious beer. Thanks for coming by, putting some eyeballs on, because you are my people, and you know I love you. And I want you to be the big three. I want you healthy, I want you happy, I want you safe, honorable, dutiful, vigilant, great man, housewheel, hot and handy. Hot and handy comes with its own laundry list of responsibilities that you are responsible for being responsible for. Yes, that's a really dumb sentence, and yet for some reason it works in the English language. But there's a lot of those. Do me a favor, like, share, remind, thumbs up, thumbs down, leave a comment. We have a new viewer who doesn't leave their name, but they routinely put subtitles on in my videos. Okay, I don't know if they're hearing impaired or if they're just foreigners, which is fine. You're welcome here. Again, we are a family of people who appreciate beer. I don't give a shit who you are, as long as you understand that we're beer folk. All right, I will catch you on the next one. Until then, my friends, I have zero problems toasting you with this absolutely beautiful, delicious beer. Skål. You had a good weekend.